And here we go. As soon as Fernando turns the microphone down on his laptop, we can start the show. It's Monday. Who's excited for Car Stereo Talk? I love it. I love it when you have to reset the unit. I love it when you get the video switcher all set, ready to go.
And nothing works.
And then you have to reset it, and then you don't reset it to all the... Like, it'd be really nice if it just go, like, remember the defaults, like, or have a default, but it doesn't. So... Anyways, hey guys, and welcome to the show. It is Monday. We're gonna have a good time, as always. Good evening. What's up, Springfield, Mass? Hey, everybody. Evening from Ann Arbor. What's happening? Learning more every session. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. We love to hear that. Greetings from Dallas, Fort Worth. Evening there. Hello from the Pacific Northwest. What's up, El Fuego? That's a good temp, very fresh. Yeah, I mean, of course it is. It's so fresh. Hi, how you doing? 91 in Orlando. What's up, everyone? What's up? How's it going? Good afternoon from the office of Modesto. What's up, Brad? You know Brad's speakers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I told Brad that I would look into design those and 3D print them so that they would look cool. And I have not forgotten. I've just been learning how the hell I'm going to build them. And I think this morning, either this morning or the other night, a piece of the puzzle finally clicked. I was like, So it's taking up some space in my brain, but I'm pretty excited. I just need to sit down and start drawing some stuff. Hey, guys. I hope everyone had a better day now that the hard part is over. I mean, yeah. I mean, next for me is more work. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah. It's currently 16. Okay, so here's the deal. When I made the show, I put it at 6. I'm sorry. Then I realized, oh, crap, it's supposed to be 6:30. It happens. We have a lot of things going on today. Just too many things, like all at once. And so, my bad. But I did change it. So, it's okay. It's okay. It's always 3:30. Yes. And that's Brad's time because he's in California. It happens. All right. So before we get too deep into this, welcome to the show, guys. Thank you all for stopping by. And we hope we have a good time. We hope we get to your questions. If you have questions, go ahead and get them in now. We're going to get through those in a minute. But before we do that, as always, we need to head over to the 12-Volt Clean Wire Club over on Facebook. And this week, this was a nice one. It's a full ARC audio with an Epicenter, Brad. And they're using the Moto 800s, which are cool because that's a big 4-channel amplifier. These are designed for Harleys, but of course they'll work in a car. And there is more for the Motos, but I can't talk about it. So who did this?
Gerardo.
So out in Texas. He did a fantastic job. There's a bunch of pictures that he posted on this. If you'd like to see more, head over to 12-Volt Clean Wire Club and take a look. Good job. And, of course, as always, it's brought to you by DNF Tool Drawer, the place you can find all the cool tools that you need for your installation, along with the now back to regular price because the sale is over, IRTA2. We do have an announcement for the IRTA2. Not really. Okay, don't lose your minds. It's nothing too fantastic. There is a new one, but there's nothing new about it other than a color change. So kind of hinted about this earlier. The red is cool. I should have brought one. I don't know why I didn't bring one.
I didn't even know it. Yeah, I told you to bring one.
Yeah. Dang. They're still sitting in my foyer.
Dude, so sad.
Yeah. So the new IRTAs are going to be available with red and blue. Limited supply left on red, but the new ones going forward will be blue instead of red. I wanted to change the color. I had to reorder. We had to order more. And so we went with blue because I just wanted to try something different. Red was cool. We've had red for a couple years. I was like, it's time for a color change. And no, we're not going to sell just like the rubber thingies for them because no. I'd have to buy way too many of them to do that, and so we're not going to do that. Oh no, I know, Brad. Thank you. I thank you. But no, it's like designing in my it never stops. It's yeah. Anyways, we're going to start this first segment with our good friends at Moscone-America.com. Now, we put up the Picos all the time because, well, I haven't created new artwork for it. But one of the things that is fantastic about the Moscone line of amplifiers, along with the Gladen line of amplifiers, they do make Gladen amplifiers as well. They make some super SPL. Like if you want like German quality SPL amplifiers, like they have those and they're pretty monstrous. But anyways, one of the things about the Moscone stuff that is unique is that all three of the lines, the Pico, the Ones, and the Pros, all have DSP versions available for you so that you can decide where I want to be. And then do I want an amplifier with a DSP built in or an amplifier without a DSP built in? So small class Ds, medium-sized class ABs, and much bigger AB class, all in there, all Pro DSP, all fantastic. AB class, D class, whatever you're looking for. Check them out at Moscone-America.com. As well as if you're interested in some of the most amazing speakers, if you're a soft home kind of guy, look at the new Gladen line of Zetas, Sigmas, and also, of course, the old school, but never, I think there's new versions of them. I don't know if they've come out yet, but there will be a new version of the Aerospace, the original, those are so cool. But check them out. All right, so with that being said, Fernando.
Yes.
Give it to me.
I'm ready.
Give it. Drop it. Drop it like it's hot.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the $2, Charles Hall. I'm dipping my feet back into this hobby. 2 vehicles daily. GMC Sierra with Bose. Fun. Camaro. It's 2017. Also with Bose. Friends have me looking at Kicker Key. 200.4 for both. Okay. So first things first, integration into the Bose system. You're going to have to do that on both. And if you are, we'll start with the Camaro. So the Camaro, if you're going to be keeping that factory radio, you're going to want to head over to pack-audio.com where you can pick up the Pack Amp Pro GM61, which is this guy right here. This is the interface that will allow you to plug this in and get your 6-channel preamp output. So you'll need this first because you cannot just high level out of that radio and get any usable signal because it's Bose. It's going to have 7 channels of audio that you cannot sum back together like with a key. So you're going to need this, whatever you do. So you're going to need the Amp Pro GM61, AP4 GM61 for the Camaro. Now for the Chevy, because it is a new one, they only go up to 2026. It should work on a 2027, but I'm not positive. You'll need this guy, which is the Amp Pro AP4 GM71. They're 2 totally different things. They work on 2 totally different technologies. And this is going to give you your 6-channel preamp output for the truck. Now, the thing is because you have Bose, it's a multi-speaker stereo, and if you're going to be doing the key, that means you're not going to be doing rear speakers, okay? Because it's a 4-channel amp, and you have 6 channels in there, which means you're going to be using the key to power the dash speakers and the door speakers. So if you just want to do a front stage upgrade only, then with auto-tune DSP features, then the key would be fine. Both the cars basically have the same speakers in them, which is a 2 3/4 or 2.5 up in the top of the dash, a 6x9 in the bottom of the door. There's a plethora of companies out there that make speakers that can go in there. And then, of course, you could do something on the subwoofer. These 2 devices for those 2 vehicles will give you the preamp section and remove the Bose from the car, giving you the ability to add something more basic, which is the Key 200.4. So that would be how you would do it. Now, if you were asking me, I would still get an Amp Pro, but I would probably do something like a DSP amplifier. Now, there again, if you're like, no, I just want a front stage upgrade and sub, then the Key is perfectly fine. It'll get you there. So that's your call. Have fun. Moving on.
Okay.
Would be fun to come up with the craziest setup and see what you guys say. Like a 73 VW Bug wants to install a Morel system, but we want to install two 15-inch subs, new head unit, amp, DSP, etc. That's not really a crazy system per se. The nice thing is that, like, so we really don't build custom enclosures and stuff like that. We haven't done that in years. And so when it comes to things like that, really all we do is the wiring and some of the basic fab work. I mean, yes, we have CNCs and 3D printers and lasers and all that stuff. But most of that stuff is built for behind panels and where you never see the work that we do. So it's limited on things like that. You know, a friend of mine called me the other day it's not really a friend, a guy I knew called me the other day, and he's like, yeah, I want to do these things, that, and that. I was like, we don't do that anymore. You know, it's not really, it was like a fastback Mustang where I'm like, we definitely don't do that anymore. But no, that sounds like a pretty reasonable thing. Like I did that when I was younger. It was fun, go crazy. Why 2026 Honda Passport has Bose, not perfect. Not a perfect solution yet. No. At that point, you're just going to go after the Bose amplifier. I think we've talked about this before. Obviously, the Pico would be great. You go with the Moscone, any one of the Moscones. You can go with the Morel amplifiers. You can go with the Arc Audio amplifiers, all those DSP amplifiers. They have 8 channels of input. You just go what's called channel for channel. And you take one channel and put it in there, and you just move on. Crazy thought, but does anyone else think it'd be cool to have a Discord for 5-star car stereo peeps? Just a place for us to lounge and be silly like we are pre and post live show, or is that cringy? So again, my thought on that is like we've tried really hard to keep this to Q&A only and not like, hey, what's up, Tom? What's up, Jim? Like at the beginning of the show, it's cool. Everyone's got to do that. But part of what makes the show fun, I think, is just us answering the questions and you guys asking and the conversation we have about the questions. Fernando is very, if you're not on point, you go bye-bye. And after the years and years we've been doing this, that's kind of lie. Like if everyone looks back to like how Kicker on Mask was, where it was just a place where everybody kind of hung out and screwed off and whatever. But I get what you're saying, something before and or after. That might be fun. The after show, that's kind of like what Andy does for them with the after show.
I think that's what you guys do on Thursday, no?
Yes, we do that on Thursday. So a good place for that is Thursday nights on the Hi-Fi Vega channel. We do a show there called Reverse Polarity and Side Jag. There's 2 shows. The first show we talk about car stereo, and we just talk crazy car stereo stuff and have a good time. Very laid back show. It's a lot of fun. And the second one, we talk more about like movies, food, music, whatever's going on in the world kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is also just a conversation we have.
Now that everybody can interact on whatever they say.
Yeah, so we read the comments. We encourage people to talk and answer and ask or say stupid stuff that we will.
There you go. Fantastic.
So, hold on. There's amp pros. I need an amp noob. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you know what an amp pro is, Weber fan. If you don't, I'll explain it. But, I mean, we've talked about it a lot. So, and there again, if somebody doesn't know what an amp pro is, the really quick answer for that is, unlike a high level to low level adapter that just goes in and takes the high level the amperage output and crushes it down, and really that's all it does. An amp pro or an amp pro like device, there's 3 big companies that make them. There's a couple others here and there, but it talks to the data system in the car, and it attaches itself to that, and that's taking the digital audio usually, or the analog with the digital stream next to it, but it's taking what is feeding the factory amplifier, which is usually the full bandwidth, 20 to 20, sometimes in a digital state, sometimes not in a digital state, and turning that into a 6-channel preamp output. So in most cases, like if you have a JBL or a Bose or insert brand name here, all of that equalization, everything is done in the amplifier. and there's a bus that carries the data from the radio, like the music, you're streaming and all that from there to here. So when you're turning up and down the volume, it's already ones and zeros going from here to here along with all that music. So these boxes go in there and take those ones and zeros and turn those back into a usable preamp section. I like to refer to it as the easiest way to take a factory radio and turn it into an aftermarket radio, giving us the preamp section that we know and love that we've had forever. So that's essentially what that is. I missed my 5 seconds of fame. I was talking to a customer. That's not a bad thing. I mean, you know, it's not like it's a bad thing. You know, you just, you know, here. Hide the comment. Fernando's just sitting there not doing anything. Ta-da! There's your 5 minutes of fame. Okay, back to the show. All right, next comment.
All right, so
okay, so question. Why we have bass CDs, but we have not for the highs? So it's kind of like, as a parent, you know, you have all these kids' holidays and really no parent holidays. I mean, you have Mother's Day and Father's Day, right? I mean, I feel like every CD is a highs CD. I mean, right? I mean, isn't that the case? If it doesn't have bass, if it's not a dedicated bass CD, I just assume it's a highs CD. I mean, who wants to listen to just... I mean, yeah, I get your point. It's kind of funny because I never really thought about it. But yeah, I mean, I can make you one. Just play 1,000 hertz. SMD car audio, any good? What is SMD car audio? It's not Steve Mead. Steve Mead? You're talking about the Steve Mead design stuff from DS18? Big fan. I like it. I keep asking them in the wrong time to send me some because I'd love to have it. I would definitely put it right here and light that shit up because I think it's cool as hell looking. I don't know who texted me. Oh, it's of course.
Thank you.
So sad. I ordered Kobe's. Do you want me to get you anything else?
Kobe's?
No, thanks.
You like Kobe's?
I don't like Kobe's.
You love Kobe's.
I hate Kobe's. Smells.
Really?
You already got that one. That was literally the first comment. Oh, it's Mr. Brinkley. Stinky Brinkley. No. What's up, Brinkley? What's up, my friends? How are you today? Hope you're having a fantastic day. You got one? Dean, is it a soft dome or hard dome CD? Oh. Now you're onto something, Bobby. Not going to lie. Now you're onto something because there again, the song will definitely affect whether you're a hard dome guy or a soft dome guy. I'm not going to make anything like that, but that's a really good, you know, like years ago when I started this, you know, Morel was the brand the reason why we carried Morel was my owner at the time was like, he was listening to a lot of, you know, music from his youth. And he was like, the Morel was the closest thing to what a real piano sounds like. And that's why he was like, I'm buying this. So there's back when they used to go to like CES, they had a curtain and they had a piano behind it. And then they had speakers and they would A/B between the piano person playing the piano and the speakers and be like, this is how life like ours sound. That was home audio stuff at the time. So, but yeah, pretty cool. Go ahead. Any updates on Arc Auto Controller? Oddly enough, last night when Brian and I were doing the podcast, we did talk about that. And according to Brian, it's still not coming out yet. Yeah, don't know. Soon, maybe not. Hopefully fourth quarter at this point. I mean, really kind of maybe where we're at.
Next year.
Got our fingers crossed. So, thinking Morel or Hertz. Two good choices. Two really good choices. Like those are, yeah. Those are good. I wouldn't be bothered with either one of them. Can you do a video using a Key 244 as an LOC into a bigger 4-channel amp? I know there's other videos out there explaining, but you do a better job explaining details. I tell you what, Jesse, I will add that to the list because you're right. The stuff we would talk about and what would make it make sense, yes, we would need to do that. So I can't promise you when, because we've got a lot of like those videos we have to do before that one, but I will definitely add that to the list that when Kicker comes back around into the like we got to do Kicker videos, which should be soon, soonish, meaning like sometime before November. We'll definitely add that one in. Ooh.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
What?
Well, that would be cool for I know where we could do that. What were you pointing to?
Yes, the one that you want to do now. There you go.
You want me to change this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
DSP. I'm just gonna change. I'll do the ad in a minute. No, but you know what I was thinking.
I know what you're thinking.
You know what I'm thinking?
Just to add in it for this
one.
one.
We'll have that one out,
mm-hmm.
and we'll just slide that in.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, we can totally do that. That would make sense because it's that.
Yeah, we're doing that
date.
one. Yeah, it's right there, so we can just drop.
We're like, what are you guys talking about?
We're talking about the white box that's in the cabinet over there.
It is right there.
Yeah. Medium dome. Where do you normally install a bass knob? I drive a Solera, which is just a convertible Camry. It is a very convertible Camry. Listen, when it comes to bass knob installation, it is a game day decision. All right.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It is a game day decision. There is no like it goes here. I wish there was.
Sometimes,
the Toyotas, they have the center consoles that all pop up real easy. So that's kind of where we start. Is there a nice flat area we can pop up with nothing underneath it? We'll drill a hole, move it right there. So that's kind of how that goes. If the center console pops up super easy like it does in a Toyota, it's usually where it's going. If the pocket comes out and there's a nice easy way to get into it, it'll go there. Everybody needs a DSP.
That's right.
Boom. That should be a song. Somebody should make that. Just have chat.
Everybody needs a DSP.
Everybody needs a DSP.
I'm
going to pull this one up real quick just because it's stuck there. I was gifted a JL Audio VXI 8-channel amp. My thoughts, 3-way active stage up front, components in the rear. Thoughts? That sounds like a perfectly acceptable plan. I mean, I have no problems with that. The only thing I would say is, what are you going to do for subs? For one, that's important. And two, do you really need the rears? And could you just use the VXI 8-channel to do a 3-way up front and the sub? Unless you're like, no, I got a 5K. I'm going to put on some 12s in the back. Then, then do that. But the sub is the question I always have. That is perfectly fine. And if you have a plan for a sub, great. If not, lose the rears and do a sub. So.
Or bridge it. Can you bridge the VXI to the mid bases?
No. I wouldn't do that.
Totally.
No, you just keep that. What's up, fellas? Got
million
my
power.
K20 from Rob already rocking again. Fantastic. Yep, you did that one.
We literally clicking.
I didn't click anything. I just Vera said hi. LC2i Pro. Can you use one of these to run an Epicenter going to a D51300 with factory radio? Thanks. Okay, so no, you don't need to do that. Okay, please don't do that.
Explain.
That is a terrible idea. All right, so really all you need to do is it'll get hooked up via RCAs. It's super, super simple. Not really, but okay.
With the factory radio.
Yeah, no, I got that.
I mean, you have an amplifier there, though.
What's that?
You have an amplifier.
I don't have that particular amplifier. I mean, this will work for the purpose of this.
Oh, wow.
What? Why did it die?
It's just like the whole thing just died. Our internet sucks.
Well, that was weird.
Look at that.
Oh, fantastic.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry about that.
No, the whole thing is terrible.
Okay, so can you remove the comment for me so I can use more video space? All right, so this is basically what the side of your amplifier looks like. You have your high level section right here, and you have your RCA outputs right here. All right, now you're going to you have a factory radio, so it has 4 outputs, front, left and right, rear, left and right. Those are going to go into your high level inputs right here. Okay. Now on the 5-channel, it has the same RCA capability right here. It has 6 channels of input and 2 channels of output. What you're going to do is you're going to run your 4-channel high level into here, front and rear sub, or sorry, just front and rear. And inside the software for the mixer, you're going to feed the front channels to the RCA output right here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take a short RCA and you're going to come out of the front channel output into the epicenter, out of the epicenter into the sub input. And that's it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do any crazy other thing else. You're done.
No, show the amplifier again because the resolution was terrible. Closer.
So you're going to come into your RCA input here, and then you're going to assign the front channel as the output RCA here, and you're just going to come out of this into your epicenter, out of your epicenter, back into the sub input on the amplifier. So you're basically just creating a loop. And that's it. That's all you got to do.
No need for the...
No need to do anything crazy. No need to do nothing. Super simple.
Super,
so simple. Anyone could do it.
It's like plug and play.
Technically, yeah.
I hate that.
But that's...
that word.
Yeah, it's terrible. Does the Key Loc have built-in load generators? No, they do not have built-in load generators in them because the engineers that design it were like, nope, we're not doing that. We don't want that kind of heat. It kind of screws up the side. Hey, Eduardo. Kicker does make loads. We never recommend them because they're kind of big, but let's see. They're actually kind of cool. They make them in a 2-channel and a 4-channel.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find them here. Yeah, there they are. Here you go. So this is them right here. So this is the KISS Load 4. It looks like a little tiny amplifier. And if you want everything to be like super kicker matchy, that's it right here.
Really? $59?
Yeah. Well, this is 4-channel. So
I mean, it's not bad.
No, and it looks like an amp. It's real pretty.
It has a really nice.
Yeah, it's
like
ridiculous.
A heat sink.
Yeah, this was designed because they were ultra paranoid about the load resistors getting too hot inside of the car and burning the car to the ground. Now, for the rest of us, we just buy the audio control LGD greens and we call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
Got a question?
Me? I got plenty of questions,
right, well,
but I don't know if you...
Is there an integration unit for 2025 Hyundai Santa Cruz? Having a hard time finding one? No. No, there isn't. There was a couple iData. Like iData had some Hyundai integration, but I think it's all the older stuff. Evening, fellas. Quick question. For a 2019 Highlander, what would be a good match for the Kenwood 6903s? Just looking for rear fill and will be powered off of an XR 905 with no DSP for now. So they make the new 165s, I think, are the 6.5 versions, and they make the new 6x9-inch version.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you have a Highlander, so it'd be the 6.5.
6.5.
So Exelon 6.5-inch coaxials would be what we would put in the back of the Highlander. And when you are ready to look for a DSP, look no further than our good friends at Arc Audio. Something that would go great with an XR 900.5 is this little guy right here, which is the PS6-8. It's a 6-channel in, 8-channel out, cost-effective DSP that gives you full DNA capability and, of course, comes in an awesome aluminum, not crappy plastic box so that you can put it in, it'll match, it'll look good, and it'll give you all the goodness of the Arc Audio Professional DSP. Award-winning, mind you. What's the easiest way to upgrade the sound in a 2026 Toyota Tacoma JBL? Trying to get as plug and play as possible. Stock sounds terrible. I don't think anybody makes anything for a 2026 yet. I don't think we're there. Oh, whoa, what happened? That's not what I wanted to do. Years. 2026. Toyota Tacoma.
Yes, sir.
I'm a professional. Show me everything. Oh, they do. Ooh, easy enough. Fantastic. So the easiest thing to do is buy the AP4 TY14 right here. This is going to be your plug and play interface for that vehicle to get you 6 channels of output. So everything is there. Now, as far as speaker harnesses and stuff like that go, MetroOnline.com has all of the speaker harnesses for that car, I believe, right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you can plug into all the speakers easily enough. There's going to be 6. You have the top of the dash, the doors, and the rear door. Top of the dash is different than the 2 in the door. It's a smaller one. It's a bigger one, but that's a JBL, so it might be smaller. Either way, Metro Online will have those, so pack-audio.com. And then Metro Online will have the harnesses and the brackets, and you're all set. Or you could also head over to MB Courts, where MB Court has all those cool Toyota plug-and-play speakers that will work in your vehicle. So you could also look at those.
Buy everything on the car if you want to.
You could. Morel makes plug-and-plays. Vocal makes plug-and-plays. So there's a bunch of them out there for you to do.
Yeah, powered base, plug and plays.
Hello all. It's party.
It's party over here.
What's up, Chris?
What up,
you doing?
Chris? Yeah.
Yeah. Dean, what is the difference between the Arc psmpro and the Arc 6 to 8? The box. I mean, really, it's the box. Because you have 6 in, 8 out on a PSM Pro, or PSM Pro Arc 6 to 8. Okay, I was thinking not the PSM. Am I thinking PSM Pro? Right, that's the little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's the box. Functionality-wise, they're basically the same. So it's the case.
So the PSM Pro was smaller.
Yeah, it's smaller. That's what I'm saying. The box that it comes in.
It was so small.
So yeah, it's a smaller box, more compact.
Mm-hmm.
They'll both do AR. They both take DNA. They both have 6 in, 8 out. One's a box with physical like RCAs. The other one has cables.
The other one was like a plastic.
Yeah, it's plastic.
This one it feels more like
it's like a trunk mount DSP. So.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah. So, all right, what was it? Not for 2026, sadly. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Hold on, I'm trying to. I don't know.
Not for 2026?
I don't know. Yeah, I saw that, but either way.
Well, you went and it says 2026, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
2026 Toyota Tacoma.
Yeah.
Maybe the MB Courts don't fit. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. What happened with the Maxima? Nothing.
The Maxima left.
It left. You mean, what is the end of the video? It's not done yet. You have to keep watching. kind of how that works. You'll find out. Question. I'm looking for 6 speakers for a 2017 Chevy Traverse with Kenwood 1058, 2 tweeters for A-pillar, 2 front doors, 2 for rear doors, 100 watts. So this is a tough one because there's a lot to choose from. We have a radio, so I'm assuming that the radio is going to power everything. So if the radio is actually our source of power, the 1058, we need to do something that is not crazy. Keep it kind of on the reasonable. For that, you could do, okay, so listen, everybody kind of makes those things that go into that, but the tweeters and the A-pillar are probably going to be the hardest thing. You need something that's kind of small and compact to fit back into that factory A-pillar. Makes me think of a couple brands. First off, the audio control has the
altitude?
Yes. Audio control has the altitude. Focal has the auditor. And one more that's going to be kind of easy to install. Kicker has the CS that that has a smaller tweeter, bigger crossovers. Well, no, the CS might not have the bigger crossover. I think it just has little passives.
More. Yeah.
And then if you want to, that's kind of where I'd be. I would lean because you don't want to go too crazy.
Now the Morels also have the Maximo has
Tweeter's
an inline.
Tweeter's too big. Tweeter's not going to fit in a Chevy. You'd have to modify the hell out of it to get that in there. That's what I'm saying. You have the tweeter has to be compact. I can't fit a Morel tweeter into a Chevy. It's too big.
Maybe he has a really good set of tools that he can do that.
Yeah, let's assume he doesn't. He might.
See?
No,
So
I mean, if he does, great. But yeah, so there's that. So, you could also do the Rockfords, but that kind of needs more power. So you need something with a basic crossover, not a big box, because the radio is just not going to power through that. How do we get one of those large arc audio frequency charts you have on your table? So Brian gives those to you when you attend their training. It's a mouse pad, so he prints these off in-house. You might be able to call him and bribe him or whatever, but he makes these himself. He has the printer at the headquarters. The reason I have a bunch of them is because they're all blems. Like when he was figuring out how to use it, he screwed a bunch of them up, and I go, "What are you going to do with those?" He goes, "I'm guessing I'm sending them to you." And I go, yeah, please. So we have them everywhere. So, but yeah. And I do not treat them well. Can I pull up one? Okay. Evening. Have a quick one for you. How come the quick ones always have the most amount of text? On really any of the B&O Ford systems, only adding subs, I use the LC2i Pro input signal for the factory sub input. It is so hot. I have issues getting tuned without clipping. Even the AccuBase turned all the way down. Any other solutions besides the AP4? Okay, so 2 things. 1, don't use the subwoofer. The subwoofer is not what you want. It's not a subwoofer. It's not giving you the right signal. Use your front mid-bass in the driver's or passenger door, because that's actually your subwoofer. The thing in the back just generates a lot of low rumble. Doesn't sound that good. I would recommend not using an LC2i Pro. I would use the Kicker Key Loc to have it DEQ the signal from the front doors. And that's what we would do in that particular vehicle. We don't ever use the subwoofer on a B&O system to power your aftermarket subwoofer, because your factory subwoofer really isn't a sub. It's literally, it's a sub in the sense, but it really has a very limited frequency range. And so using it is not good. The other thing, too, is if you've disconnected your factory sub, well, the LC2i should have load resistors, so that's good. But it could just be doing some weird shit. So realistically, don't disconnect the factory subwoofer, leave it in there. And if not, make sure you leave load resistors on it. But come off of the front doors. So typically what we'll do is we just leave the factory sub in there because it's not going to hurt anything unless I need that space. And if I need that space, then you have to load it down so that it doesn't hurt the amplifier. And then we'll use that space. But either way, use the front doors. Don't use the sub.
Okay.
And yeah. Two-part question. 2026 Ford F-150 single cab. The radio doesn't have the fader option, but I can turn it on through Forscan. If I do that, will it populate a signal from the rear wires at the harness? And could I use a Key Loc with LGDs? So turning it on with Forscan might not do anything. It all depends on whether or not there is an amplifier in the radio for it to turn on. That's really the key, right? So, I mean, if you went into Forscan, you turned it on, somebody in the forums, I'm sure, has said, yeah, and then you can buy the T harness from PAC for that. That'll have all the wires populated so that you could test the outputs to see if they work. And then, yes, I would just put an LGD with the Key Loc. Now, I can tell you from experience, and like if I'm going into a DSP, I don't really care about fader. Like I don't know anybody that uses it, so I wouldn't lose too much sleep over that. But I mean, if it's something you feel you need, if you're going to Key Loc is 2 channels, so we would typically go 2 channels, LGDs into the Key Loc, into our DSP or whatever it is we're trying to do. Keep in mind, even if you went in no DSP and you went 4-channel, you can still do front and rear and use the gains once they're leveled to where they need. You can start matching them down to get a good balance in the fader so that the rears aren't just like, I'm rear. So there's that. LGD greens for all types of loads. I need it for non-amplified F-150. Yes, LGD greens, 100%. And the nice thing about going from the Ford factory radio into the Key Loc is SB compatible, which is what your factory radio is. So after the Key Loc, you can plug anybody's amplifier into it, not have to worry about it doing strange crap, like a lot of these amplifiers do, because they don't like SB factory SB amplifiers. SB is just a type of amplifier that it is, so the Key Loc can handle it. You can put it in, and it's great. So good recommendation. If you'd like to just buy a plug-and-play harness for all of this to make your life super easy, just head over to Sounds Good Car Stereo. They make this. You can just buy it, like done. Key Loc, all tuned, literally all set and ready to go. You don't even have to run the software. You just plug it in. They've DEQ'd the whole thing. So it's pretty magical. Epicenters, everybody needs an epicenter. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, we did talk about some of the altitude speakers, which are really nice.
Yeah.
One of the things the reason why we mentioned the altitude speakers is because the tweeter, you can literally mount the tweeter anywhere that you can drill a 1-inch hole. That's why it's so appealing. So you can get a 3-way set, a 2-way set, and if you're like, I really want to put on my A-pillar, but I don't want to build A-pillars. Do you have a 1-inch flat area there that you can drill a 1-inch hole in? They're very shallow. Now you have a 3-way set. Super easy, pretty awesome. Audiocontrol.com. Blogblog has a new DSP amp that looks identical to Morel's new DSP amp. Does Morel own that company? No, Morel does not own the company. However, the thing you have to keep in mind is how things are made overseas. There again, I don't know. I haven't seen the Blaupunkt amplifier. But some manufacturers buy a heatsink because it's a very expensive thing to buy a heatsink. And so 2 companies could be using the exact same heatsinks. It's really what's under the hood that counts. Think of it as like Pontiac and Chevrolet, or GMC and Chevrolet. Trucks look the same, totally different most of the time. I don't know. But no, I haven't seen the Blaupunkt. It's not the first time that's happened to Morel, and it won't be the last. I mean, there's a bunch of amplifiers that look very similar out there, and you're like, what the hell? I would really just look at the DSP software because that's what matters the most is who's using the better of the two DSP softwares. But Punk takes me back. Dean, what if I install a 800XR on my 2000? When did you get a TT? Like,
No kidding, right?
yeah, when did you get a TT?
An Audi?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's wide enough to fit that radio because the TT has there's those the radio bars that hold up the top of the dash. So it would be interesting. It'd be interesting. God, when I first started working here, I had to build a dash for one of those.
Really?
Yeah, because Paul booked some weird thing and it was just, it was a mess. It was a mess. But yeah. Change the name to Dean Center and add a 5-star logo. We'll sell like hotcakes. Yeah, no, I would agree. I have a 2025 Silverado non-Bose. Would a Key 224 be a great solution without going full DSP? Would it correct the signal coming out of the factory radio? Okay, great question, Jesse. And the answer is no and yes. So no, a Key 200.4 is an acoustical DSP, meaning it has a mic, it acoustically fixes everything in the car. The Key Loc, which is the high-level to low-level adapter you would stack in front of it, will fix the signal coming out of the radio. So in your case, what we would do is obviously go to pack-auto.com or Metro, or whatever, and we'd buy the T-harness for the car. We would pair that up with some load resistors, the LGD greens that we keep talking about, you get from Audio Control. And then we would go into a Key Loc. And that Key Loc would deal with all of that. And then that would go into 200.4. Now it's 2025 Silverado non-Bose. Metra might already make the interface for that because one of the problems you run into is the chime in that when you amplify it becomes ridiculous. So typically in the GM, if we can do something, we go to metraonline.com, and then we'll pick up the year 2025. We got Chevy. Where's it at? There it is. Oh, really? Chevrolet Silverado 1500. Non-amplifier, get parts. Let's see what we got here. So if you go over to metraonline.com and you scroll down, you'll see that these amp integration interface. Let's see what we got here. Which ones are these? Let's see. One of these should be for non-Bose. Designed for non-amplified, provides 6-channel, 5-volt output, non-fading, 5-channel, chime level adjust, no programming required. So I would definitely look into seeing, there's 2 different ones, and usually you just got to check the VIN number on the car to figure out which one of these you actually need, or it's denoted by the colors here on the harnesses. So do a little bit of vehicle application, and these are what we like to use when integrating into a Chevy vehicle, because it'll take over that chime. And then if you get this, you can definitely go right into the Key 200.4. And these have no DSP, so they're just straight, pretty nice. So check those out. You good? What do you got? I was good. Okay. What would you suggest for a stereo upgrade for a 2000 Nissan Rogue? Anything double din, factory backup camera, Sony 4000, Sony 6000. If you want to go crazy, Kenwood 908. But there again, if we're looking at like just a simple upgrade in one of these, Usually it needs an iData interface. If it needs an interface, retained steering wheels, backup camera, and all that fun stuff. But the Sony 4000 is a really nice radio to put into one of those. Let me see if I can. You all right? Okay, hold on. I had one here. Where did it go? I have no idea. I have a 2026 Chevy Trax. I want to put an Alpine 6x9 in the front and rear doors. And what would work for the noise cancellation to bypass from the factory amp? Nothing. There isn't anything. There is nothing to bypass that currently. GM's kind of locked everybody out. So if you can figure it out, you let me know. Does anybody know where I can find the info on the study of speaker wire sizing experiment that I heard Dean talk about before? I'd like more info on that to do. So that was a Tony D'Amore. I believe it was one of his Facebook posts. So if you go on to Facebook and search for Tony D'Amore, he might have done a video on it, or he did I can't remember if it was a video or if it was just a post that he put up, but it's Tony D. So, just wanted to say you guys are great. I'm 46 now and back into the hobby because of you guys. Fun and expensive. I can relate. I have a lot of hobbies that are really expensive and kind of annoying. RC cars. I don't ever drive them. I just build them. Legos. Oh my God. Legos are so crazy. But yeah. Is there any way on a new aftermarket head unit to integrate an iPod Classic for audio and video? I mean, you would have to do it. Okay, so you would have to do it like a 30 pin to RC output like they used to make. And then you would have to hope that the radio you have has an AV input. Some of them have aux input, like Kenwoods have an aux input that you can get a red, white, yellow input for that you could then plug it in. But that would be how you'd have to do it. You'd have to go it old classic RCA style into the aux input on the back of the radio. So it's doable, but not like controllable through the face because everyone has did that. Brad, I had a tech call. What I missed? We were just basically making you feel bad and telling you all the bad things. You're like, where's the controller? How come Brad hasn't released the controller yet? When is the controller coming out? Yeah. I will pay for a simple one-line diagram showing the Epicenter with the D61200, please. It's just in the software. You missed my question on the difference between psmpro and the 6 to 8. That really wasn't a question. It's just a box. Any recommendations for a DSP amp that can run my Hertz MP 3-way active set and a pair of shallow Milli Pro 10 sealed in a trunk? I mean, the reality is yeah, I mean, obviously Audison makes some DSPs. They make some okay sized DSP. I don't know what the ohm load is on your Milli Pros. That's usually the problem with them, or if they're dual voice coil or what they are, because most like big DSP amplifiers, you can bridge the channels, but they bridge to 4 ohm. Okay, so for example, let's say you took an Arc Audio Falcon and you had 2 dual 410s. Okay, the reality is you could take 4 channels from that and run it to each one of the voice coils. You could run channels 5 and 6 to one sub, 7 and 8 to the other sub. You're not bridging it, you're just running each channel to each voice coil. All right, so that would be 4 of the channels, and then you still have 8 other channels that you can run to the mids and highs, to which you could run 1 and 2 to the tweeters, 3 and 4 to the mid brace, 7 and 8 to the mid range. Then 7 and 8 could go to a mid bass, 9 and 10 could go to, or 7. So anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it could go to, you could bridge to the mid bass and do double power on mid bass. So probably look at a 12 channel DSP amplifier, like the Falcon, something like that you could do. But there again, it depends on what the ohm load are of the Mille Pros. So that's where it gets exciting. Hello from Israel. I'm Rafi. Hey, have you installed a Mazda 3? I'm putting in a Helix V8 Ultimate, iX sub along with i7 tweeters, i5 mids, leaving the mid-bass factory. Yeah, because those mid-bass are a pain in the ass to get to. They're up high in the kick panel. Good move. And they're small. Like, what was Mazda thinking? I don't know. But we haven't done a lot of Mazdas. Most of the Mazdas we get, we just add subs to. You know, they like a little bassy bass. The speakers have not really been a big, like, because, yeah, they're kind of weird. So, any options you know of for a DSP amp that you already asked this one? That's the same one. Yeah, that was a question before this one. What the heck, man? 2026 Lexus RX 350. What speakers would you recommend for dash and doors? So, like, we had one of these come in not too long ago, and all we did in it, because it sounded really good, but it was missing some high frequency. The mid bass in the door was pretty strong, and if you're not going to put an amplifier in it, it wasn't worth it. We took out the 3 dash speakers in this because it had a center channel. So we took out the 3 dash speakers and we put 3 Kenwood CS3s in the top of it. We made custom brackets for it, put it in. It sounded amazing. It was pretty fantastic. Added all the crispness that the car was lacking by just replacing the factories with 3 Kenwood 3.5s in there. Adding the tweeter, it was fantastic. Outside of that, I have no idea. We didn't want to get into the doors and start screwing with the mid bass because we were pretty sure we weren't going to be able to deal with that without going like full amps and DSPs and stuff like that. So may want to just replace the 3.5s in the top. I don't like Epicenter, mainly because I prefer to listen to music that either already has bass, and the music that doesn't, I enjoy listening to it as it was recorded. And that is a perfectly acceptable way to do things. However, I like bass and I like music that doesn't have bass, and the Epicenter magically gives me the bass I want when listening to said music. I feel that, you know, back in the 70s and 80s when these guys were recording this music, if they would have had the option to do bass, they probably would have done it. Maybe not as heavy-handed as an Epicenter can do, but, I mean, we listen to modern stuff and it has plenty of bass, so we have to assume that, you know, those guys would have had a better bass track in their stuff than they did. So I have no problem, you know, overwriting history just because they couldn't do better. I'm going to fix it and make it better. Right? Yeah. And then to make everybody happy, the PS6-8 does have an optical input that the psmpro does not have. So along with the metal box, it has an optical input. I forgot about that because, yeah, I mean, there's so many options for that. Will the ARC Audio controller be compatible with the PS6-8? I know I'm going to want that controller, so if the PS6-8 is not controller compatible, I will get the PS8. That's a Brad question. I don't remember what is on the side of that. LR1. It does not look like it will be compatible. It does not look like it's compatible. It does not have the cool. Yeah, it does not have it. The PS6-8 does not have the controller port. Get the PS8. Yep, that's what I just saw when I looked at it because I know what the cable looks like. I've seen it. You guys haven't. What are the determining factors when considering a front subwoofer size? Cabin space, back subwoofer size. Is this a pick your position type of decision and then just DSP the hell out of it? I mean, the reality is when it comes to determining a front subwoofer size, and to be fair, I am just applying logic to this only from seeing a bunch of people that have done it. it really just comes down to how much available space are you willing to give up, and or if you're a manufacturer, what is the smallest size woofer that you have that you can fit in the front of the vehicle? So, for example, like Brian's Chevy, it's in his front passenger well. They don't make really small woofers, so I believe it's a 10 or a 12. I don't remember which one it was. And that's what fit in. That's like, I got to use one of these, so I'm going to build a box, put it in there. Now, as a, if you have unlimited access to anything you want, well, then it's expandable. I've seen guys build some really cool glove box subwoofer enclosures where like they put like a 6.5 or a pair of 6.5s, possibly an 8 into the glove box. I've seen some guys take some 10s or 12 shallow mounts and, face them into the footwell and have them come up the top of the dash. It's really one of those things like any application where you're going to put a subwoofer in it. What are you willing to sacrifice and to put the subwoofer in? Now, as far as DSPing the hell out of it, you'd be surprised. I don't think you have to go too crazy on that. But yeah, I mean, it's like anything else. So it's figuring out what will fit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It looks horrible, man.
What?
Sorry, they did live show.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Apparently the internet just decided to suck. But hey, the nice thing is if you were trying to watch it and it was frustrating as hell, it's no big deal. We will play it tomorrow and it'll look crystal clear because we record the show and rebroadcast it for you just in case this happens. So, and all the questions will be there and it'll be fantastic. So, yeah, no, that's it. We're done. So, anyways, thank you guys for dealing with the crappy internet today. Sorry about that. What's up, Seabass?
Hi.
Dork. We'd like to thank you guys so much again for tuning in and asking fantastic questions. Hopefully we got to your question. If we didn't, that's okay. We'll be back again on Saturday, and hopefully the internet will be better. I mean, we can all hope.
Maybe not, but
we can all hope. It happens. So we do everything right. We wire it in. We try. There's no Wi-Fi. It's like So the internet sucked at my house lately too. So it's just one of those things. Good day, Chris. Have a wonderful day. And there again, we'd like to thank all our sponsors, which are Focal, Moscone, Audio Control, Arc Audio, and whoever else wants to feel like they're part of the deal. But I don't know. Today is Monday, which means we're just getting started in this roller coaster. I know we didn't come on and do Instagram today
because it's nothing.
We might come on and just
nothing.
Yeah, poor life choices right here. So we might talk about that. I don't know. Everyone has a plan. It's just not my plan. So that's what happens.
Yeah.
And as Brad says it, thanks guys. Always a fun hangout. And just like that, fade to black.